Y'all, stop what you're doing. Grab your iced coffee, grab your bonnet, grab your stressed snacks. Because, baby, today's tea ain't regular. This ain't decaf. This right here is espresso mixed with jet fuel. Because Kandi Burruss, yes, that Kandi, just hopped on live looking like she ain't slept, ain't blinked, ain't breathed properly since February, and she dropped a bombshell. That shook the timeline like a damn earthquake. Let's get into it, so picture this. Kandi logs on. She ain't glammed up. No contour, no lashes, no on my boss asterisk T attitude. Sis looked like she just did 3 emotional marathons back to dash back dot. She takes this long. Heavy, Lord give me strength. Inhale. And then says, I filed on Friday. Baby. My soul leave my body. My wig detached. My phone jumped out my hands like, girl, what? They broke up, not a rumor. NOT a storyline leak. Not fake news. She sighed, IT herself, and the way she said it. That wasn't influencer sad. That wasn't promo sad. That was real life heartbreak. She goes, I'm up and down, y'all. Some days I'm okay, some days nope. And you could see IT. She looked like someone who cried at red lights, cried while cooking dinner, cried in parking lots, but still showed up to work like the boss she is. But here's where this story goes from sad to messy to straight up grab your popcorn. Because Kandi confirmed something we all kind of knew but didn't want to say out loud. She's been going through it for months. Not days. Not weeks. Months. And she said, all those times you saw me online happy? It meant nothing, baby. I felt that. Y'all ever been smiling online but dying inside? Posting cute selfies but depressed as hell? Laughing in public but crying in the shower? Yeah, Kandi been faking IT. For us. For her kids. For her brand. And that is the kind of pain money can't fix. Now pause, because while Kandi is out here giving us tears, truth, and trauma, guess where TOD is? Go ahead, guess. You won't guess right. He is outside, like outside. This man is at a bar, sipping something brown, smiling like he just got promoted, clinking glasses with his homies like it's the freaking Bet Awards after party. And the caption on his little video, cheers to new beginnings. New beginnings. Sir. Huh? Your wife is on live breaking down like a Lifetime movie character, and you're out celebrating? The disrespect is loud. This man said, divorce, and immediately acted like he unlocked a bonus level, and the internet noticed. Some people were like, nah, let him breathe. He's been stressed too. But others were like, nope. He'd been emotionally checked out. This energy been marinating. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, moves on that quick unless they moved on months ago. But let's stop playing. Because we all know the real third character in this marriage. Mama Joyce Lord? The final boss of mother-in-laws. The Thanos of Real Housewives. The woman who will throw shade like confetti at a parade. From day one, this lady did not want Todd. She called him broke. She said he was using Kandi. She dragged his mama on national TV, God rest her soul. She questioned everything he did, from breathing to blinking. And Todd? Todd took those hits like a champ. But repeated disrespect? That kills love slowly, and the streets are saying, Mama Joyce finally got her wish. She fought that man for 11 years. Kandi's marriage never stood a chance of that lady hovering. And listen, it's not crazy to think Mama Joyce played a role. Kandi even said she wouldn't let her mom on her show right now because she might speak too much. Oh, speak what exactly? Speak whose truth? Speak about which situation? Mama knows something we don't. But here's where the plot twist turns into a plot flip. Fans pulled up an old clip where Kandi said, I never really wanted to be married. Excuse me? You mean to tell me the woman who gives wedding advice? The woman who had a whole televised ceremony? The woman who built a blended family on camera? never wanted the ring life like that? Suddenly, a lot makes sense. Maybe Kandi is a businesswoman before she's a wife. Maybe she fell in love but never vibed with the domestic husband and wife structure. Maybe she's wired for independence, not submission. And maybe Todd wanted a relationship she couldn't emotionally maintain. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's a villain. Sometimes two people love each other, but they love differently. And then the internet asks the real question: why didn't TOD file? And every grown woman in the comments answered in unison: because men don't file. Men will stay married until the roof falls in. They will emotionally leave, but legally stay. They'll be miserable, but still won't pull the trigger. So yeah, Kandi filed. Because she's always the one who gets *T done, Todd was never gonna make that move. He just waited for her to do it. And then celebrated after. Now here's the wildest part. These two spent 11 years married, 14 years together too. Kids, hundreds of business moves, millions of dollars earned. Millions of fans entertained, and in the end, they were two strangers living in the same mansion. Love wasn't enough. Money wasn't enough. Time wasn't enough. And now the truth is exploding everywhere. Kandi crying on Lev. Todd celebrating at a bar. Fans choosing sides. Mama Joyce in the shadows like a silent assassin. And baby? That's only Act 1. Because Part 2? Oh, honey. That's where the real chaos begins. When you hear what happened after this, your jaw's gonna hit the floor. Alright, y'all. So if you thought Part 1 was wild, baby, Part 2 is a whole different level of chaotic. Because after Kandi dropped that "I filed on Friday" bomb, the internet went full FBI mode. Y'all know how social media gets, folks turned into digital bloodhounds with ring lights, and what they started finding. Oh honey, let me just say this, the divorce was the fire. The internet? That was the gasoline. Let's break it down. So first things first, Kandi logs off that live looking heartbroken, defeated, emotionally dehydrated, and an ND within hours. People started posting. Wait, remember that time Todd said, "Hold up, didn't Kandi hint this months ago? Didn't Mama Joyce already warn us?" And baby, the edits started flying. Slow motion clips, shady memes, TikToks with dramatic background music like "My Tears Ricochet." But then, and this is where the story takes, a hard left. Somebody leaked a throwback clip from one of Kandi and Todd's shows where Todd said, "If this marriage don't work, it ain't gonna be my fault." Excuse me, what was that foreshadowing? Because the way that line started going viral, woo, people dragged him like, oh, he'd been planning his exit. He'd been rehearsing. That line in the mirror. He said this with his chest like he already knew he wasn't doing the work. It was giving premeditated disappointment, but THE and hold on to your wig. The real MESS kicked in while the internet was busy choosing sides. There comes this random little TikTok from a friend of Todd's. Now usually those videos are messy lies. But this one had details. She said, and I quote, "Todd been telling folks they've been separated emotionally for months. Emotionally separated. Not legally. Not physically. Emotionally. And you know what that means? He was checked out. Backed out. Clocked out. Logged out. Signed out like AOL in 2004, which explains WHY. He was in that bar celebrating like he just got drafted to the NBA. But here is the best part. The part that made me scream into my pillow like I was watching a Netflix thriller. Someone commented under Kandi's live clip saying, "Mama Joyce told y'all from day one." And baby, that is when Mama Joyce stans came out the bush like ninjas. They started pulling receipts. Clips of Mama Joyce calling Todd opportunistic. Clips of Mama Joyce saying his family was shady. Clips of Mama Joyce saying, "I don't trust him." Clips of Mama Joyce literally crying because she didn't want Kandi to marry Todd. Suddenly, the internet's like, did Mama Joyce have psychic powers? Was she messy? Or was she right? Low-key, I think she had the tea before anybody else. And honestly, at this point, it's looking like she saw the iceberg while Kandi was still on the deck with her. Champagne Dot's giving abominable mother-in-law. But also low-key clairvoyant. Okay, but W-A-I-T, because just when the internet was starting to calm down, Kandi's old interview surfaces where she said, "There were times I didn't feel supported." And fans were like, hold up, what does that mean exactly? Supported in what way? Financially? Emotionally? Parenthood? Career? And that opened a whole new can of worms. Somebody tweeted, "I love Todd, but he really looked like the husband who wanted the perks without the pressure. OOF. Dragon gently, but efficiently." And others chimed in. "He moves like he wants to be a boss, but doesn't like the weight that comes with it." Kandi was the breadwinner. And the emotional backbone, that's exhausting. That man looked tired of living in a woman's shadow. BRU, Internet was on one, but then the plot twists inside the plot twist. They started replaying the clips where Kandi defended Todd over and over again. And suddenly people were like, wait, did Kandi fight harder for this marriage than Todd did? Did she carry this thing on her back like it was her fifth business? Was she loving him from the heart? Well, he loved her from convenience. And baby, I ain't saying that. The internet is saying that. But here is where everything hit critical level. Fan posted a screenshot of Todd's celebration video, the one where he cheers to new beginnings. And someone commented under it, "Bro, your wife is crying on live and you're doing bottle service like a college kid." The dragging had nitrogen monoxide mercy. Another person said, "This man said new beginnings like he didn't just get left for dead in the divorce papers." And I hollered, then this one. "Todd acting like a man who got released from a group project he didn't help with. Dead. Deceased." Done. Meanwhile, Kandi is still silent. Not a peep, not a note, not a follow-up live. Nothing. In her silence suddenly felt powerful. Like she was saying, "I said what I said. I filed, and that's that." No dragging, no shade, no pettiness, no cryptic post, just a woman who's done. In a world full of messy divorces. Being quiet hits harder than any paragraph-long clapback. However, stay with me because the story doesn't end there. Remember how I said fans were going FBI mode? Well, someone dug up the fact that Todd was spotted multiple times out without his ring, weeks before the divorce news broke, and suddenly the timeline lit up like, oh yeah, he was out. He been outside? He been giving bachelor energy. He been separate, emotionally and geographically. People even said he was posting too many life is short. Live you life, type captions, and you'll know those captions only mean one thing. A man is preparing to be single. And now everyone is waiting to see, is Todd gonna clap back? Is Mama Joyce gonna drop her legendary shade bomb? Is Kandi gonna spill more tea? Is someone from their circle gonna leak screenshots? Is a side chick story gonna emerge? Is a financial twist coming? Because baby, when a marriage ends in the public eye, the public wants a season finale. But Kandi? She's playing this like a boss. Quiet, controlled, emotionally bleeding but professionally polished. Todd? He's giving frat boy energy in a midlife crisis. Mama Joyce? Watching with popcorn like the prophecy has been fulfilled. And the fans? Choosing sides like it's the Super Bowl. Sides like it's the Super Bowl.